Hello, I'm Dr. Franklin. Welcome back to Prime Age Lab. For decades, you've been told one simple rule: drink 8 glasses of water a day. No questions, no exceptions, just follow it. But here's the problem. That rule was never based on solid science. In fact, according to research published in the American Journal of Physiology, there is no universal number that applies to everyone. And for adults over 60, blindly following this advice can actually throw your body out of balance. Because hydration is not about hitting a number, it's about how your body regulates fluid, and that system changes with age. Today, we're going to break down where this myth came from, what your body is actually doing, and why this simple rule may not be as safe as you think. Where the 8 glasses a day rule came from. The idea of drinking 8 glasses of water per day did not originate from a precise clinical study. It can be traced back to a 1945 recommendation from the U.S. Food and Nutrition Board. The report suggested that adults require about 2.5 liters of water daily, but there was an important detail. It also stated that most of this water intake comes from food. Over time, this detail was overlooked. The message was simplified, repeated, and eventually transformed into a universal rule: 8 glasses of water a day. Research published in the American Journal of Physiology has since clarified that hydration needs vary significantly depending on age, activity level, environment, and diet. There is no fixed number that applies equally to everyone. What began as a general guideline gradually became a rigid standard, and once established, it continued to spread without being questioned. Your body already regulates hydration. The human body is equipped with a highly advanced system for regulating hydration. At the center of this system is the hypothalamus, a region of the brain responsible for maintaining internal balance. When fluid levels drop, the body responds by triggering thirst. At the same time, hormones such as vasopressin signal the kidneys to conserve water. According to research from the National Institutes of Health, this system operates continuously, adjusting fluid balance based on real-time conditions. The kidneys play a critical role in this process. They filter blood, adjust fluid levels, and maintain electrolyte balance. Studies published in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology show that healthy kidneys can precisely regulate hydration without the need for strict external rules. This means the body is not relying on a fixed number of glasses. It is responding dynamically, based on actual need. Thirst is not a flaw. It is a signal, and in most cases it is highly reliable. Why this rule can backfire after 60. As the body ages, its ability to regulate fluid balance begins to change. One of the most important changes is a reduced sensitivity to thirst. According to the National Institute on Aging, older adults may not feel thirsty even when the body needs fluids. At the same time, kidney function gradually declines. Research from the National Kidney Foundation shows that the kidneys become less efficient at filtering and adjusting fluid levels with age. This creates a more delicate balance. Too little fluid can lead to dehydration, but too much fluid, especially when consumed rapidly or in excess, can dilute sodium levels in the blood. This condition, known as hyponatremia, has been documented in medical literature, including studies in the Journal of the American Medical Association, JAMA. Symptoms can include fatigue, confusion, and, in severe cases, neurological complications. For older adults, this risk becomes more significant because the body is no longer operating with the same flexibility as before. Which means that following a fixed rule, like drinking a set number of glasses, may not align with what the body actually needs. Hydration becomes less about quantity and more about balance. The hidden risk of drinking too much water. Most people worry about not drinking enough water. Very few consider the opposite. But overhydration is real, and in some cases, it can be dangerous. When you drink excessive amounts of water, especially in a short period of time, you dilute the sodium levels in your blood. This condition is known as hyponatremia. According to the Mayo Clinic and research published in JAMA, low sodium levels can disrupt normal cellular function, particularly in the brain. Symptoms may start subtly: fatigue, headaches, confusion. But in more severe cases, it can lead to serious neurological complications. For older adults, this risk is higher, because the body's ability to regulate fluid and electrolytes is less efficient than it once was. What makes this dangerous is that it often comes from trying to be healthy, drinking more just to meet a number. But the body does not operate on fixed quotas, and when intake exceeds need, balance is lost. You're already getting water from food. Water does not only come from a glass. A significant portion of daily hydration comes from food. Fruits, vegetables, soups, even cooked meals contain substantial amounts of water. According to the National Academies of Sciences, approximately 20 to 30% of total fluid intake typically comes from food. In diets rich in whole foods, this percentage can be even higher. For example, foods like cucumbers, oranges, and leafy vegetables contain over 80 to 90% water. This means that hydration is already happening through normal eating patterns. The idea that all hydration must come from drinking water is incomplete. It ignores how the body actually functions. When food intake is balanced, fluid intake is naturally supported, which means forcing additional water on top of that baseline may not always be necessary. Hydration is not a single action. It is a system. Why this myth refuses to go away. If the science is not definitive, why does the 8 glasses a day rule still exist? The answer is simplicity. Health messages that are easy to remember are more likely to spread. According to public health research from Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, simple guidelines often gain traction because they are easy to follow, even if they lack precision. Over time, this rule became part of mainstream advice, repeated in media, fitness culture, and everyday conversation. It was never questioned because it sounded reasonable, and because drinking water is generally associated with good health. But repetition does not equal accuracy. As research continues to evolve, the understanding of hydration has become more nuanced. Individual needs vary, and fixed rules do not reflect biological reality. Hydration is essential. There is no question about that. But the way we approach it needs to change. After 60, the body becomes more sensitive to imbalance, not just from too little, but also from too much. The goal is not to follow a number. It is to understand your body's signals. To drink when you need it, not when a rule tells you to. Because real health is not built on rigid formulas. It is built on awareness. Your body doesn't need a rule. It needs the right response.